able to join today?
I just texted Rick Picola. I'm not sure if
Okay.
he's, but I think we could start.
Okay. So the purpose of today's
I don't hear
meeting-
Ashley.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Can
can
you
you
hear?
guys hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Because it is kind of real staticky again.
I got it.
Do I sound like Darth Vader again?
No, you sound good.
Okay, the volume was down. I got it. Okay.
Okay. So the purpose of today's meeting was just to check in on the review of all of the chapters. At this point, everyone has seen a full draft of the comprehensive plan. We have been receiving comments on those chapters over the last week and a half or so. I believe we've received comments on chapters 1 through 6. So it's just 7 and 8 that we're still looking for. And then we've already started incorporating the edits that we have received so that we can get the final versions posted to the town's website, well, the final draft versions, just to be clear, posted to the town's website, which will be the subject of the first public hearing.
I'm still working on 5 and 6, which I think was due today, if I have that correct, Allison?
That's it.
Okay, so 5 and 6 today, and then the rest of them next week?
So I've gotten some of your comments on 5 and 6 then.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think most of the comments that we've gotten have been pretty straightforward. As we come across ones that we have questions on, should we bring those comments back to Allison for clarification, or 'cause I'm not always.
Yeah, I would
always
say bring
clear.
them back to Allison in the first instance, and if then you need further clarification, we can follow up again or something with whoever comment it was.
Okay. Yeah, it's not always clear who it came from, so.
Yeah.
And then one of the things I mentioned to Allison, a lot of the comments we've been getting is about photos. Obviously, we took a lot of photos during the winter time. So if you have any summer photos that you prefer us to use instead, we're happy to use those, and we'll give you an attribution in the document. I guess what we could check on today is, are there any overarching concerns or comments that we should talk about, especially in regards to maybe like the land use chapter, or
I think, without speaking for anybody else here, and I haven't even gotten through my first read of, I guess it's 7. And again, I haven't really read it, but I just know when I glanced, is it 7? Hold on a second. Yeah, I guess so. It talks about, I guess, our aging infrastructure, and there was a thought that it doesn't recognize some of the improvements we have done to our infrastructure, that it was all like kind of negative about, and that we've done. And I know Eamon probably has comments on this, but what we have done, not that obviously there's issues that we always have to work on, but I think the thought was it was just all kind of negative and not focusing on any of the positive things we've done. So that was kind of I don't know which, so many of these copies. I'm like, that was the one over, reaching comment on that particular. I guess that's 7, I'm guessing.
Yeah, do you want me to chime in on that a little
Yeah,
bit?
please,
Teresa?
because you're probably the best to. I
Yeah,
actually
so
haven't even really gotten to it.
There was a lot of comments and reference which seemed that they came direct from, the Spark Hill, I guess,
Alliance.
Watershed Alliance.
Alliance, yeah.
It was kind of geared towards their concerns, which they do have concerns, but it did, some of the language painted the town in a bad light, just the way it was written. We said we use terms like uncontrolled development. I don't think those are fair statements to have in there. There was comments about, it says we had, one of the comments was worded on page, this is chapter 7, I know, getting ahead here, but it was flooding and insufficient stormwater management contribute to issues of public sanitation. We have a complete stormwater management plan that was approved and accepted by the EPA and the DEC. So that's just one specific comment. I'm not going to go through all of them, but it kind of repeated itself over and over, where one that's not really factual, it's inaccurate, and it kind of paints the town in a bad light. So as a, I guess as a umbrella over the whole chapter, I think that needs to be looked at and read carefully. I guess the information didn't come directly from us. I know you gathered the information from the various meetings we had, but I would just caution that that information is not always true and accurate when it's coming from other sources that are not necessarily, that kind of have their own agenda that they want to push forward.
I'll definitely examine that, and I will relay all this information to Shachi. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I guess similar to that, I'm at chapter 6, and I'm sorry if I'm going backwards, but, and I know some of these you might have addressed, because I know we raised them before, but like, this goes back to like someone from the public saying something. And so, for example, they say that we should acquire the dinosaur property between Route 303 and North Greenbush Road. No one on this town board has any desire to acquire the dinosaur property. There's way more important properties of more significance in the town if we're going to be buying property. But I know there's one very active person on our environmental committee who is fixated on it and probably mentioned it in every survey she took or whatever. So, you know, I just, you know, they talk about its high scientific value. Anything that was there has been removed from the site. They took the footprints of the dinosaurs that apparently managed to jump on one lot only and avoid all the rest of them. And, you know, it's on Route 303. So, you know, I know, again, because this becomes the roadmap for the town, that no one on the town board supports that, us acquiring that. And I mean, even the next one is the H&A property. I mean, it's kind of weird because it talks about acquisition and preservation. I mean, again, the town is not looking to acquire and own 106 acres in Palisades. You know, yeah, we'd like to have something really nice done with it. We're working on it, but you know, acquire and preserve are kind of strong words. I don't know. I mean, unless I'm reading too much into preservation, I don't know, maybe I am. I'd like to preserve it as a hotel, but we don't know if that's going to work. And I think we already talked about the fact that Tao Park we already own, Gesner Park we already own. I think that was the last meeting we talked about that. I think we already talked about that. Okay, that's all I have on.
Ashley, I don't know if you saw my comments on chapter 4 with the implementation strategies.
Yeah,
And
I think
some
we
of the-
received those today or yesterday.
Yeah, I'm not sure when Allison sent them over, but you know, you talk about introducing sidewalks and channelized roadways, curbing extensions, bike lanes, sidewalks, traffic circles, roundabouts, things like that.
Mhm.
Which, you know, if we were sort of just starting development would make sense, but I would like to dig deeper into, you know, how would that work since we're already developed? One of the issues we have with the Route 303 overlay district is that a lot of the provisions that are in the district zoning can't be achieved because of how developed 303 is already. So I don't know if you guys can elaborate on those. It's page 115 and 117.
Okay, so basically, how do you retrofit it?
Right. So I mean, the concept makes sense, but how do we actually achieve it in a township that's already built up?
Okay. I'll coordinate with Elaine on that.
And Ashley, for, that was, what page is that? Page 56, we had some 56 and 57. I guess this is chapter 2. We had some I guess some graphs there, and I don't know if my comment was clear, that we want the highest percentage in the first spot, just kind of put it in order of the very important, the yellow, you had like all different colors. So if
That
the
was-
number,
That was one we had a comment on, because I could see a couple different ways to do that. So I wasn't sure if you meant like reorder the line so that the yellows will go from like largest to smallest. So you see the most important, the items that were the most popular at the top of the list going down to the bottom.
yes, that's what we meant.
Okay, that's what you meant. Okay. Okay. All right, so in terms of getting all these documents turned around and posted on the website, so that the CPC public hearing is set for August 2nd. The edits we've received so far, I think we should be able to pick all of those up by the end of next week. And so that would mean they could get posted. Just get my calendar up. If we could get them posted on it's going to be a holiday week next week, or going into a holiday weekend. So getting them all posted, but let's say Tuesday the 5th or Wednesday the 6th would give about almost a month before the public hearing.
That's plenty of time, right?
So
I think, yeah.
We still need to get the other, like 7 and 8 will be due next week.
Okay.
So
if
I'll have to.
those can always follow later. We can get the other early chapters posted first. If
Okay.
needed.
Right.
Yeah, I still need to get more comments from,
I do actually have
5
another
and
one on the
6.
parks. I don't know, am I Witten Field? I'm sorry, I'm at page 167. It says a range of town open spaces from Veterans Memorial to Witten Field. Do we have a Witten Field?
We don't. That's a field that's behind Tappan Zee Elementary School that we don't use. I have it in my edits to take that
Oh,
out.
okay. I didn't even know it was called that. So you learn something new every day.
Yeah.
On one of those two, I saw a comment where it said the Central Ave field was closed. Did you see
Yeah,
that
I think
comment?
I had that. I think I had that marked up too.
Yeah, it said it was closed. I don't think, let me see if I can find that, but.
Yeah, no, I have it. I think I marked it up too. It says, and which was recently shut down.
Shut down, yeah. It's bullet 5 on page
Yeah,
156.
Yeah.
So Central Ave Field is still open to the public.
Well, it's
I
owned
see.
by the school district, but it
I
is
see.
still, yeah, people still use it. They actually just redid the playground, so.
Okay. Noting this down, thanks.
Okay. So I guess if anyone has any other comments they'd like to share on the call today, otherwise we'll take them in writing and we'll start turning them back
Just
to them.
one other general comment as an overview type of thing. It seems kind of throughout all the chapters that when you finish a topic, I understand that you want to start the next topic on a fresh page with a heading. And if the previous page ended like a quarter way through or a halfway through, you tend to insert a photograph to kind of fill the page. It's sort of like a filler photograph. Or just take a look at those and see if they could be relevant to the topic that was, sometimes it just seemed random that it was, you might be talking about, climate or stormwater, and then it's a picture of a bridge or if it was more relevant to that topic, you know, I understand why you're putting it there to kind of fill the page and not starting a brand new topic midway through on a page, but maybe that's a minor editing thing. If you could take a look at that, just as a general overall, the chapters.
Yeah, we can certainly do that.
Okay, then I just have I know I'm jumping all over the place, but this is on the economic development, chapter 5, page 150. So supporting workers as a category, improve access to local employment opportunities, increase access to advanced education, workforce development, and job training opportunities. I guess I don't know what that. I guess I don't know how you would do that or what the mechanism for that is. It seems like it's from the town level, seems like it's increased access to advanced education. I got a lot on my plate, but I'm worried about people going to advanced education. I mean, is there, what would we do to try to accomplish this at a town government level? I mean, it sounds great, but I want to be realistic about what we can do and not do.
Okay, all right. We can come up with some either
Okay.
address strategies for that, or we can cut it.
Yeah, it's, you know, again, it sounds fantastic. I just don't, you know. Okay, that's 5 and 6 for me.
I have one other quick comment. In chapter 5, on page 138, at the bottom, it has what you consider the top tier. It says 13.5%. There's a paragraph there. I would say it's somewhat profiling, and it's also kind of, you know, it's the one for the residents. The top tier are considered the residents that are the wealthiest, and it goes a couple of paragraphs or sentences where it said, aside from the obvious, where their upkeep of their lavish homes, consumers select upscale salons, spas, and fitness centers for their personal well-being. And it references that the top tier earn more than 3 times the US average household income, which I believe is about, you know, if I'm United States, I think it was about 60 or 65,000. So basically it's categorizing anybody over 200,000 as a combined household income of being in this top tier. You know, basically says they have the purchasing power to indulge in any choice, but what do they choose? What are their heart's desire? Just, I think it should be worded differently. I think some people might get offended.
I actually had just a general comment in this whole, I got kind of lost in this whole tapestry segmentation. Is this just talking about, I guess I don't know what the purpose of this whole thing is. Kind of, it sounds like it's describing different neighborhoods, if you want to call them that, whatever it is, or type of, but is this, I don't know.
We can cut that back. Esri is it's from Esri Business Analysts. It's they take census data and they assign profiles to it, and they've developed some of these like categories like pleasant suburbia and things of that nature, and it's supposed to help you when you're looking at your land uses. What could you be targeting for that type of population? What is that type of population interested in?
Now, are these percentages Orangetown?
Yes. So these
Okay.
percentages that are based on the percentages that are in Orangetown. So this is what the Esri Business Analyst has categorized Orangetown as.
Okay.
But if it seems off, we can certainly cut it or tone it down or scale
Yeah,
it.
I maybe tone it down. I mean, you know, it's just when I got it, I actually read it a couple times and I was kind of like, I guess it's the cute names that probably threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. Whatever. Yeah, I mean, I maybe tone it down or, but I agree with Eamon. I guess people will be insulted that sounds like they're
Yeah, kind of for
with
what you're
opera,
saying.
classical music, concert, charity, and internet shopping. Yeah, I guess maybe they.
It's a little bit of speculation, and it's a lot of
Eamon's trying to
profiling.
figure out why he's in that category, and he doesn't go to the opera, watch classical music. He doesn't go to the spas. He doesn't.
I got none of that.
Hang
Yeah.
out at the GAA. He wants in there.
Yeah. But yeah,
I hear you.
yeah, I think it just, yeah, a
People
little,
might- people
a little
might take
toned
it.
down, worded a little better
Right,
to,
right. Not
you know,
be.
be a little softer when you read it.
Got it. Right. Any other items you want to go through?
No, that's, you got mine. I have stuff to do.
Great.
Now, is 8 what I have here? Is that the complete thing? Does it end at page 166?
Yeah, so 8 is basically the summary table of
Okay.
all of the recommendations from the previous chapters.
Okay, so I still have to get through that. Allison's keeping us on a short leash, so we'll have them done.
Ashley, when are you going to have the revisions done?
So we'll
July?
target getting you the revisions, at least of the chapters that we've received comments on already, for posting by
July
July 5th or 6th.
5th or 6th, okay.
And then, depending on the next chapters, how many edits to those, either later that week or the following week, but certainly
The bulk.
with plenty of time before the public hearing.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. Well, thank you all for your comments. We will, make all these edits, and we'll follow up with Allison if we have any questions about any of the edits that we've received. All right.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
wonderful weekend.
Thanks so much.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.